welcome back to another episode of The Follow-Up. I'm Eden, this is my dad Noah, and every week for 5 years now, we've been sitting on my bed and having a conversation about something we want to talk about. So this week, we're going to talk about the beginning of 6th grade.
Now, we can't exactly say every week. Well, I guess,
There's been a podcast every week.
Maybe we shouldn't have said it every week we sit on the bed, except for the summer. So this is definitely the longest time we've gone without a live podcast.
What about, but we still posted a podcast, so every week there's been
Pretty much.
Every week you've had something to listen to.
I did not post one every week, a flashback every week. Maybe
well, they still
5, maybe?
There's there's a lot of podcasts on YouTube for the follow-up that go all the way back, and on Spotify, so they could have had something to listen to.
Right, Spotify, I have a podcast. You can always go back in the archives and listen to all of them.
For 5 years now, when we haven't been doing a podcast, you've still had something to listen to.
Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, good enough. We're almost at episode 250, which is just bananas.
Maybe we'll do something for the 250.
Yeah, like an episode. Oh, you mean like something special?
Like a special episode.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think every episode's special, but I know what you mean.
You know it.
I know what you mean.
Okay.
All right, so start of 6th grade, second year for you in this school. So last year, 5th grade, started middle school. You were the new kid. Now you're starting 6th grade. What are you feeling?
I'm excited. It's nice to go back this year, and I'm really looking forward to seeing all my friends again, which was definitely something different than last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just really excited for the start, to see my friends, to have a normal kind of routine again,
mm-hmm.
and just for school to pick back up.
Yeah, so there's last year you went in with you were excited to start school last year, but you went in, my guess is, with just a lot of uncertainty. I don't know these kids. I don't know this routine. I don't know this school. I don't know anything. And now you have this sense of familiarity where, oh, all right, I know where this is. I know where this is. I don't necessarily have to ask where this is or how we do things. And yes, that's a comforting feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's comforting. So tell me what you think is going to be different in 6th grade than 5th grade.
Well, for our school, 5th grade starts middle school, and 6th grade was your last year of elementary school, right?
Correct.
Okay, so this will be our second year of middle school. So I think some of the, expectations are kind of different, meaning you're not the youngest anymore in middle school. This isn't your first year. Mm-hmm. You kind of know how things roll.
Yeah, a little greater sense of responsibility, I would imagine, every step of the way.
And I think 6th grade usually, I feel like, is a big year for a lot of people, because that's usually when people start middle school. So I think for me, because I went to public school for a bunch of years, mm-hmm. I feel like 6th grade for me feels like I'm really in middle school now, because
I understand.
I went thinking that 5th grade was elementary school for so long, mm-hmm. that I feel like now I'm really in middle school, because that's just what I thought for so many years.
So say some kids are leaving where they were for elementary school and going to middle school, or maybe they're and in that case, like where I grew up, you went just the 7 elementary schools, I think it was 7 combined for the junior high. So you knew all the kids in your school, and then you knew some other kids from the area, of course.
Like sports and stuff.
Yeah, and so what kind of advice would you have for somebody who just finished elementary school, and maybe they're moving to a new area where they don't know people, and they're starting middle school like you did this year? You knew you had some familiar faces, but you didn't know people in your grade.
Yeah.
What kind of advice would you give someone who is new? So some things that maybe worked out for you, or some things that you did, or maybe even some things that you wish you did that you didn't do.
Honestly, this advice doesn't really apply to just middle school, but I would say just put yourself out there, introduce yourself to people, but be yourself and don't be afraid of that. And a lot of your friends who are going to be real friends will come to you also and introduce themselves. Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Sure,
introduce themselves And don't be afraid to ask questions. Like if you don't know something or you don't know where something is, don't be afraid to ask friends, and also don't be afraid to ask your teachers for help. Yeah.
Okay. So when you started school, and I remember we always tell you like every morning, like, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. Because if you're not yourself and you're trying to fit in with all these different groups, then nobody really gets to know you. No one really knows
Yeah.
who you are. But if you're just yourself, then you'll find the people that are most like you, or that most that you want to spend more time with.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that is really good advice, because then it's really uncomfortable trying to be somebody else. But I understand there might be some urge to try to be somebody else if you think you have to act a certain way to fit in, but you just have to be yourself, and you'll find your people, even though maybe day one might be tough. But you absolutely encourage now kids who will be in your position, who are not the new kids, to go out of their way, even and it's not very hard, to introduce yourself to the new kid and say, hey, if you have any questions, I'm Eden. Nice to meet you. If you want to have lunch, yeah, join us, because you know how much that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was sixth grade like for you?
Yeah, sixth grade was the last year of elementary school, and I had started that elementary school in first grade. It did start in kindergarten. I had a bunch of friends who started in kindergarten there. So sixth grade meant we had lockers. I think we may have had lockers in fifth grade. I don't remember. But we had lockers. Our classrooms were at the end of the school. So our school had, I don't think we had any steps in school. It was just ramps. And
So was it floors?
no, it was just one long building.
Okay, yeah.
But there were ramps that would go up. And so ours was at the end, and there was a separate end. There was another entrance in the back that you could go in and out of, which was cool. And I remember feeling like the oldest kids in school, and you had a bit more. You had a bit more freedom. We had 3 teachers, and you switched classes, which we had started in fifth grade, where you're switching classes for things. We had Mrs. Howard, Miss Ament, and Mr. Hunter for science. And
all 3 of them for science?
No. Mr. Hunter for science, Miss Ament for social studies. Mrs. Howard was our homeroom teacher. We had her for English and math.
Oh, okay.
And I remember Mrs. Howard, who I had done, if you want to go back, I had done an episode of the follow-up when it was just me hosting with Mrs. Howard, with my sixth grade teacher, reconnecting with her all these years later, so like 30 years later. And I asked her, it was just one question, then we followed up from there, was what was your life like when we had you in sixth grade? We didn't know anything about her. And she had just gotten married. We were her first sixth grade class. So I learned a lot about her then. But something that I do remember about sixth grade was that she always called us kiddos. And now when she sends me a message, whether it's on Facebook or she texted me the other day, because she'd seen me do a video for the teachers at Abington, she wrote kiddo in the text, which is so funny, being 43 years old. And we did this thing, maybe it was once or twice, where we anonymously wrote down questions on paper and handed them in. And she said, you can ask me anything and we can talk about it. And we can talk about it as a group, we can talk about it individually. And that wasn't something that was done when we were kids. And I know you guys do things like that, which is terrific. And so but it made us feel like, oh, there are more people with these questions than just us. And I think that's such a valuable lesson, that I'm not the only one who feels this way or has this question, and also don't have to feel ashamed to ask it. And maybe someone else is asking a question that was also on my mind. So I give her a ton of credit for laying things out like that for us.
Mhm.
Yeah. I also remember we had the 6th grade track meet where it was
it just 6th grade?
It was just 6th grade, but it was 6th graders against all the other 6th grades in the district. So it was all 7 6th grades.
That's
and
cool.
so we had
But
heard.
it's nice you got to meet people.
Yeah, and we had heard, oh, have you heard about this kid at whatever, like Willow Hill or Roslyn? Like, I heard he runs the 50-yard dash and
Yeah.
you know, in under 6'8". Like, oh my God, 6.8. And so you're just, you only know what you know, you think, until you actually start playing some other kids. And that was a lot of fun because we went over to the old high school track, the old football field, and that's where we had our track meet.
Do you remember?
I don't remember. I remember doing the softball throw. I don't know how I did.
So it wasn't just like track.
I remember doing a relay. I don't remember. I mean, I wasn't the fastest in our grade. I probably didn't have the best arm. I mean, Brandon was the best at everything, but the fastest, best arm, all that. But I don't remember. I don't remember how we did.
I like relays. I like the 4x1.
Yeah, and we had to run with, that's when we learned running with the baton and putting your hand back and going.
Like I do track at school, and we practice sometimes. Like I have to stop saying like.
Yes, you do.
You run, but then you say go at the person in front of you, and then you're holding it, and then you pass it.
But you can't look back.
No.
You're just you start jogging and you put your hand back.
Yeah, I forget what you say. It was something.
You go, I think. Yeah.
Go, and then you put your hand back and you feel it and you clasp it.
Yep.
And then you.
Exactly. Yeah, and you don't let go. The person shouldn't let go until they feel that you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or until you start speeding away and they physically can't.
So that was 6th grade was great, and I remember Alex coming in because he had one of his best friends was a year older, and he was in junior high, and Alex would tell us in the bathroom after recess. He says, "Guys, you can't wear sweatpants in junior high because we still don't wear sweatpants to school." He said, "You can't wear sweatpants to junior high. You'll get beat up." And we were like, "What? No, you have to wear jeans in junior high. You'll get beat up." So I remember hearing when we came in from recess, washing our hands in the bathroom, and Alex telling us that explicitly. And I didn't wear sweatpants in junior high.
In 4 years? For 4 years?
7th, 8th, and 9th grade. No, I don't. Maybe when I was a 9th grader. Maybe once, but now you just wear jeans. Yeah, I didn't want to get beat up.
Okay.
Yeah. But that was 6th grade. 6th grade was a great year. I had, my closest friends, some of my closest friends from nursery school who are still some of my closest friends were in my 6th grade class. It was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome.
I have a pretty good 6th grade class too. Really good 6th grade class.
You're gonna make a lot of memories. Okay, well, I'm sure this year we'll talk a lot about school and 6th grade and all sorts of things. So just remember, if you have podcast topic suggestions or requests, you can leave them in the comments on YouTube, and you can click the subscribe button on YouTube, which is right below you as you're watching.
Or book requests.
Oh, yeah. You'll be featuring a book every week.
Oh, yeah. We're doing a new... If you're watching the video, there's going to be a new featured book every week. And this one is Liar Inspired by Rebecca Stead.
And you can also leave all those questions, comments, all that stuff on Apple Podcasts. But you can listen to the podcast, subscribe, rate, review, anywhere you get your podcasts. It's nice to have you back.
Thank you.
It's nice to be sitting on the bed and having a conversation about something we want to talk about.
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you.